of Mankato is preparing to take over the impounding of stray dogs in the event that Benches doesn't renew their contract with the city. Aaron Stuvey has this update.
Since 2020, the city of Mankato has had a partnership with Benches to handle any stray or impounded animals that are picked up by public safety. Time is running out on that contract, and starting on January 1st, the city will be on its own when it comes to impounding animals. Benches is still going through organizational struggles that put a stop to their normal operations in late October, but the city says that they've had this expiration on their minds for a while. City manager Susan Arndt says that Benches reached out to them to end the contract 14 months ago, and that they're planning on the contract not getting renewed.
Things for us continue to look like this is the direction it's headed for us, and so we're continuing to work through how do we stand up this, what I hope is an interim solution. Our goal is to continue to work with Benches.
City ordinances require the city to take care of dogs for 5 days after picking them up and have no responsibility for stray cats. They have the ability to scan for microchips and contact owners if there is one on file, but after that, the dog would likely be euthanized after 5 days. That's already the case for dogs deemed dangerous, as the city reports 3 animals were euthanized from impound this year.
Right now, with our partnership with Benches, they are set up and established to turn animals from impoundment or stray animals into adoption, and we are not setting ourselves up to become an adoption agency at this time.
The city would use their former impound location by Sibley Park should the program resume, and that location is currently undergoing slight renovations to prepare for that event. In Mankato, I'm Aaron Stuvey.